speaking of super successful, I'm really excited to introduce a good buddy of mine, Paul Baker, one of the local business owners around here with Bounce Boot Camp. Welcome, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you on. You've been waiting here patiently. We appreciate it. Hopefully,
listening to all this rickamapuckus.
What was that, Joe?
Rickamapuckus.
Rickamapuckus. Boy, that's a new one. You got to ring the bell on
Let me
that one.
explain. Don't do it.
You did it.
Stop with the bell.
And the proper term is rickamarak.
Let me explain something to you. Words are just letters. You can put them in any form you choose. So don't tell me how to describe a particular feeling that I have, which today is a bunch of rickamapuckus.
Hey,
Let me remind our listeners
let's talk
that
to
Joe
Paul.
admitted
How
he
about
doesn't
that?
know how to spell earlier.
Yes, he did. And he also doesn't like people. Hey, Paul, tell us a little bit about Bounce Boot Camp is something that's really unique. So describe it for the people a little bit.
All right. Bounce Boot Camp is an inflatable company. So we bring out inflatable bounce houses, slides, obstacle courses, but we have a twist on it where we'll bring out balls, we'll bring out cones, we'll bring out quick foot ladders, and we'll have fitness drills run before the inflatables. So we're trying to get kids back active, back healthy. We're trying to work on their athleticism and at the same time not let them know that it's actually helpful for them. It's more of a fun thing.
I absolutely love this. When I went to your website, man, it was like, this is a great idea. And you know, I know the kids, they like to be competitive. They like to do this kind of stuff. So instead of just setting up something they can go jump on, you actually got a process and a system that they actually get to go through, and games and that sort of stuff. It really is just a great idea. But before we get into that, Paul, talk a little bit about why you chose this business and how you got into this business. Because that story is something that people love to hear about.
Okay. I was working a regular 9 to 5, and at a certain point,
working for the man.
Yeah. At a certain point, we had a child, and we were trying to decide, you know, do we go daycare? Do we try to raise them ourselves? Do we bring somebody in? And we were trying to figure out that. My wife stayed home with him for the first year, and then it was just a matter of, you know, how do we get more time to spend with our kid? We wanted to be able to raise our own child. So we started kind of looking at, okay, well, I wanted to always start a business, so it just became a matter of finding out how I could do that.
Right.
So I started to stay home with, the plan was for me to stay home with him and then try to find a way to make some money, and along came, you know, this opportunity with Bounce Boot Camp. Looked into it and just decided this is something that I've always had a passion for, being able to give back to the next generation. I've always had a passion for fitness, for sports, for athletics. It was something that, you know, when I was looking into this stuff, I was very up on health.
Right.
And it was one of those things, hey, if I could get paid to pass this knowledge on, that'd be a great thing. And along came this opportunity.
Now, I assume your wife is successful and has a career. Is that why you chose to stay home? Is that the reason for that choice?
Yes, we kind of looked at it, like I said, she stayed home for the first year, and she actually had an opportunity to go back to work. So that's when we started having the discussion.
Because I like that. It really is the smart thing to do, which is to make sure somebody's working for the man.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we just talked about that in the Coach's Corner, and then it gives you an opportunity to feel comfortable and focus on what's the right decisions for the business instead of what do I need to do to pay the light bill today. And so I really like that choice and that decision making. How long did it take you to decide, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger, I'm going to do this?
When
I get answers all over the map on this one.
There was already a decision that I was not going to be working anymore, and that I was going to be staying home with him. So when we saw this opportunity, there was about a week-long discussion. And that was it. Then we called up. We kind of had made a decision going back and forth, and started, I would say, less than a month after we first heard about it.
Right. Well, go ahead and tell them the name of your company and the website so that they can check you out.
All right. The name of the company is Bounce Boot Camp. The website is www.bouncebootcamp.com, and we are on Facebook and on Twitter. Twitter is at Bounce Boot Camp 3.
Great.
Paul, explain explain to people the kind of events you do. Why would they want to use you, and the type of events that you use? Is it always parties, or is it set up specifically in schools for like exercise? Or explain that so people know when they want to get hold of you.
We can pretty much do, if you have a thought that might include inflatables, we can customize something. We do birthday parties where we come out and we have a specific setup for birthday parties, or we have customized. We've done 5th grade graduations, we've done fall festivals, and we've done HOA parties. We do corporate events. Some of my favorite times are when I have the parents come up and ask me if they can go through, because the parents, during birthday parties and during events, the parents seem to have as much fun as the kid, if not even more.
Oh, I'd really like to do this, but that one thing, I don't think I'm going to make it out of there. That one now might get stuck.
The holes are surprisingly big. I've had Sir Purr, I've had Chubby Checker, I've had a lot of the mascots get their big mascot heads through there.
If Sir Purr can get in there, I can get in there.
Absolutely.
Well, and I saw you were on local television there one time, actually demonstrating one of your setups. And the first thing that struck me is this is not just a bounce house. I mean, this has got a whole series of things that the kids do. They go through it almost like an obstacle course, almost. Is that describe it?
I would describe it as an obstacle course.
Yeah, the piece that we had brought out was most of our pieces are camouflage. That's a big distinctive factor about us, and we had the obstacle course out, and when we come through the obstacle course, we actually set up obstacles in front of the obstacle course, and we change them up every now and again.
I see.
So every time that the people are going through, it's a different experience. It's a different situation.
Well, your business is Bounce Boot Camp. Do you actually have camps? I mean, do you do anything? You do events, you do parties, which is what people normally think
now you're challenging his name. Go ahead.
Well, I am challenging his name because I also know that he does more than this. So describe that a little bit.
We do fitness classes on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, and we come out, we set up certain different obstacles, or certain different inflatables, we change it up every time, and we do the 1 hour classes. So just like, Play 60 or Get Moving, we try to do 1 hour where we warm the kids up, we work on their athleticism, and as they go through the classes, they can collect dog tags, so it's kind of like karate, where they have an opportunity to rank up.
I like that.
Yeah, so they go from private, sergeant, captain, major colonel, and up to
Okay, you don't have a participation trophy, do you? Because that's going to rub me the wrong way. You understand that if that's the case.
After the first class, they get a dog tag just to be a part of it, but after the rest of them, they have to rank up and earn through.
Dog tag.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Paul, talk to me a little bit about the profitability of this business, and do you have personnel? Walk me through some of that, because clearly to get this thing up off the ground, it's not easy to do.
Yeah. Most events I'll come out, I think almost every event that we've done, I've come out and been the one running things, but we also will bring out part-time people. So we'll have I've got different generals that we have trained up to run drills and to do different events. So we have different part-time people. So that's one of the things when we do events, I've gotten a lot of people to say they have a problem finding volunteers for events. Well, when we come, you don't need a volunteer. We come, we staff the thing up, right. We make sure that it's structured, we make sure that it's organized, and we make sure that it's safe.
Right.
How long does it take you to set one of these things up?
I've
obviously got to inflate it, right?
Yeah. To actually get it inflated takes surprisingly like 2 minutes to get it from flat to inflated. But getting everything set up, when I set up a class, I usually can set it up in about 30 to 45 minutes and break it down in about 45 minutes to an hour.
This is a business show, so there's some business people listening. Talk a little bit about the corporate and team building, and because this isn't just for kids, so
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that.
When we do We'll do team building for like sports teams or any kind of team. We do the corporate level. We'll come out. We'll set up, whatever you want us to set up. We can customize it. We can do relay races to try to get everybody involved and have it be competitive, have it be fun. And for the adults, we like to do the relay races because you'd be amazed at how much energy kids have when they're doing it. They can go for an hour, and parents and adults can usually go for 5 minutes if they're in good shape. So
I'm positive I could outrun Wayne. Positive.
I'll take you on there, bud.
We can set it up
20 yards.
Yeah, let's go outside.
But when we do the corporate, we can have, we'll mix it up however you want to. If you've got, the IT guys want to be one team, and then the sales wants to be one team, and then the production wants to be one team, we can do that. We can mix it up. So there are a lot of times I've worked at companies where salespeople came in and they didn't know anybody from production. So it's nice to be able to gain that camaraderie between people that don't have daily interaction and be able to get them to know each other so they can understand what the other people do.
So do you use the blow-up stuff for the team building?
Absolutely, yes.
Because I'm going to want to get in that and beat Wayne through that.
Okay, I'll take you out. Hey, some of the people listening, they might be thinking about things like how much, what if something happens? Are you fully insured? And are these things clean?
Yeah.
I know that's what people are thinking about. So describe that a little bit.
We're fully insured. We always bring a certificate of insurance when we come out to do an event. We clean our inflatables. We blow them out, and then we wipe them clean before after we set them up and before we break them down every time.
Okay, great.
One more time. Go ahead and give the name and the website.
The name is Bounce Boot Camp, and the website is bouncebootcamp.com.